This Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, we're coming up on 6:53. Let's get you ready to take on your Tuesday here in the Morning Sprint.
Mark is talking about the heat and some rain headed our way.
Sydney Charles has details on a debt limit meeting set for today with congressional leaders.
Kootenai County voters once again have the chance to decide on a $25 million supplemental levy for Coeur d'Alene Public Schools. Let's get to Destiny Richards with the details.
That's right. That 2-year supplemental levy that would expire on June 30th is up for a vote again after it failed back in March. And we've been covering this for weeks, for those 2 months, actually. We know that Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says they have a lot to lose if that levy fails again. Jobs on the line, programs online, 2 out of 4 elementary schools at risk of closing. But it's also important to note that there's no perpetuity factor this time, meaning Kootenai County voters will continue to vote on this. There's also an effect on taxpayers in Kootenai County if the levy passes. You can find out more on KXLY.com.
Well, a man is in critical condition at Kootenai Health in Coeur d'Alene this morning, injured in an axe attack in Wallace. The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office says the man was hit in the head with an axe yesterday morning. The suspect, 39-year-old Nicholas Johnson, was found naked at the scene and was arrested. Now, this is an ongoing investigation, and we will keep you updated as we learn more.
The standoff at an apartment complex in Post Falls ended in a surrender. Post Falls police say it started yesterday evening at East Celtice Way and North Spencer as a domestic dispute. When officers showed up, one of them thought they heard a gunshot from the apartment. They called in the Kootenai County SWAT team. When the people inside the apartment refused to come out, other people living in the complex were asked to evacuate for their own safety. Negotiators eventually talked the people into coming out, and the standoff ended without anybody hurt.
All right, our forecast today is going to be hot, muggy, and we're going to see shower and thunder shower potential, a couple of breaks through the day. But again, we're going to see some thunderstorm activity later on today. Doppler radar saying the rain is here in some areas. Some lightning strikes certainly to the north and to the west. But we're going to see more of that coming in later on today. That forecast radar has us, again, looking at the afternoon and overnight hours for more thunderstorm activity.
Well, today, state lawmakers return to Olympia to once again try to pass new drug possession legislation. Right now, most parts of the state, law enforcement agencies have to refer anyone who's caught doing drugs to rehab services before an arrest can be made. Lawmakers tried to address this issue in April, but it failed to pass.
The cost of attending most public colleges in Idaho is rising, with the State Board of Education approving a 5% increase in tuition and fees. That might not sound like much, but can add up quickly over the 4 years. For example, at the University of Idaho, it'll cost in-state undergraduate students $8,816 next year. This year, students paid $8,396. It's a $420 increase. During the meeting, discussion mainly focused on maintaining affordability for students, all while balancing increased costs because of inflation.
Well, one program that could help with the cost of tuition is the Idaho Launch Initiative. Starting next year, the program would give high school graduates up to $8,500 to help pay for college or workforce training programs if they stay in Idaho. Preference will also be given to students pursuing in-demand careers like welding and plumbing.
And a major meeting is on the White House agenda this morning. The president and top House and Senate leadership are set for debt ceiling talks today. It's their second face-to-face regarding the country's debt limit. And sources say they're reviewing proposals that would claw back unspent COVID-19 funds, streamline regulations for new energy projects, and impose stricter work requirements for certain federal aid programs. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen firing off another warning this week, saying that any further delay could leave the U.S. unable to pay its bills as soon as June 1st. More details on today's meeting is coming up next on Good Morning America.
An update to a fatal crash we first told you about yesterday on Good Morning Northwest. The Washington State Patrol says a 26-year-old driver going too fast around a corner crashed and died. A passenger was taken to the hospital. Investigators say the driver hit a tree near 9 Mile and 7 Mile roads. The driver and passenger were thrown from the car. WSP says they were wearing seatbelts. The name of the driver nor the passenger have been released yet.
Gas prices are coming down. AAA says this time last year, gas was nearly $5 a gallon. The national average is $3.54. Analysts, though, say fears of a recession have kept oil prices lower, leading to lower gas prices.
Drivers using I-90 in both directions between Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake should expect delays this week. Crews are working on the new Kramer Parkway undercrossing. Starting at 7 tonight until 5 tomorrow morning, crews will close the right lane of eastbound I-90, followed by the left eastbound lane. The same thing the following night.